and we're really excited to talk to you about some amazing sports updates. The Lakers championship. Lakers won. Let's go. But as you can see, I'm still wearing the Giants blue, and we had some terrible things happen to us, but not as bad as what happened to Dak Prescott. We're going to get into the show. So get ready for Get This Work.
Important thing that happened this weekend, and that was, of course, the Lakers winning their championship.
That's right.
They got number 17. They tied the Celtics for most championships.
Yeah.
And LeBron got his 4th Finals MVP, which would be the 2nd most all time behind the GOAT, Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And so we could start here.
Yeah.
So obviously we watched the game, and it was I did not expect the game to go like this. Of course, like, I didn't expect any team at any point to go up 30 during the whole series, and it happened. Like, it happened. It was a shocker to me watching it. Like,
yeah,
it was at some point it was unenjoyable to watch.
I found it very enjoyable. I'm a longtime Laker fan, so I thought it was awesome to see. I have no problem with what the Heat did. I know some people were upset because they felt like the Heat kind of gave up at the end, but I completely disagree. The Heat were strong all the way to the very end, and I think they deserve our encouragement, if you want to call it praise. You know, they were amazing. So I have nothing against what the Heat did. They played great. They were strong. Jimmy Butler was just out of this world. Goran Dragic, no, not Goran, but Tyler Hero, and who's the other guy? Duncan Robinson. Amazing players. They did a great job. Kendrick Nunn did what he could. Unfortunately, Goran was injured most of the time. Bam did what he could, and we'll get into more of that. But the Heat were outmatched from the very beginning. They don't have one legitimate star on their team. So they're just they're outmatched from the very beginning. So it happened the way I think it should have happened.
Right. Well, they do have a legitimate star. His name is Jimmy G Buckets.
He's a star. He's an all-star. Is he a star? Come on.
He is a top. I think now he's a top 10 player in the league now. He's at least top 15. He's a top 15 player in the league.
Top 10 and top 15 are two different things.
He is top 12 NBA player in the league. How about that?
You keep changing.
If you can carry your team to the NBA finals like he did, you're a star in the league. If you can take your team to the NBA championship, if you can take them there to the finals, you're a star. And he proved that with 2 LeBron James like triple-double games.
I mean, yeah, he played great for those 2 games. But he did. I mean, he had to shoot 20 something shots to get those points. So it wasn't like he was very efficient at the same time, right? And LeBron, like KD and other greats, are also super efficient when they shoot. So, you know, it was a great game, but it wasn't the most spectacular thing I've ever seen in my life.
Well, statistically, it was the 2nd best game in finals history after LeBron James' game.
Yeah, it's from a stat padding numbers perspective, yes.
Well, no. Jimmy Butler did not stat pad any single stat he had that night when he had that 40-point triple-double. He grinded that team to literally the last seconds to win that game.
Okay. If that's what you want to say,
like he's moved up. Like, I would say he's passed a couple people in the league. I would say now, before, I didn't know who was better between him and Paul George, like, honestly, but now definitely better than Paul George, definitely better than Klay Thompson, like, individually.
He's not better than Klay Thompson. Stop. Don't be disrespectful.
He's a better player than Klay Thompson, and like, it was just, he's a proven star now. Everyone gave him slack because of how people perceived him when he was in Minnesota and when he was in Philly, and he proved everyone wrong by going to Miami and leading the team too.
That's true. I give him that. But the Lakers, let's focus more on the Lakers, right? The Heat, it's nice, but it's over, right? We don't have to deal with their foolishness anymore. They were never gonna be able to beat the Lakers. So, um, let's look at what the Lakers did first. The Lakers tied the Celtics for the most wins in an NBA franchise with the Celtics with 17 NBA championship rings. That's a lot of rings. The next two teams are at 6 and 6. Golden State Warriors at 6, and I think it's the Spurs at 6. That's the next level. The Lakers and the Celtics are the complete royalty of the NBA, and to me, the Lakers are even higher because we have more rings in the modern era than do the Celtics. So, what do you say
Not
to
fact.
that? Are you gonna finally join the Lakers fan club, become a part of the
No,
Laker Nation?
like I said before, I've never been I've LeBron James. I've never been a fan of LeBron James. As soon as LeBron James came to the Lakers, I rooted against him. I have no problem with the rings from before. Kobe Bryant is my favorite player of all time. I've always liked the Lakers, but as soon as LeBron came,
Okay.
he ruined my joy for liking the Lakers. Also, the champion. I think that they're both like those two are the of course the model franchises, Lakers and the Clippers. I mean the not the Clippers, the Lakers and the
the
Celtics.
Clippers are
Yeah,
boo boo
yeah.
front
The Lakers and the
runners,
Celtics.
front
Yeah,
runners.
yeah. But I don't know. I just like it helps. It also helps that the Celtics and the Lakers were one of the first teams, and they dominated the 50s and 60s respectively,
Yeah,
and so they got a big jump on a lot of other teams. But
true.
like, yeah,
All
they
right.
tied up. But let's see what happens from now on.
Well, yeah, the Celtics now to sadly, because I actually like the Jason Tatum, I like Jaylen Brown, I like those players, but unfortunately they might now have missed their only opportunity to get a ring because the Heat are gonna be back next year. Giannis is gonna figure it out someday. I think the Celtics are starting their window is starting to close on them unless they go out and get Giannis or like they're supposed to get AD. They need someone inside for them to get consistent points. I think the Celtics might this will be a great era for them because they will always be competitive. But it looks like the Celtics actually are not going to be able to get that ring. We have the best player on the planet right now, LeBron James. We have the second best player on the planet, Anthony Davis. So
Well,
we're going to be in contention for some time, at least next year, at least. LeBron gets his fourth Finals MVP. 80's performance was amazing. He was the de facto defensive stud on our side of the ball. And to me, he would have been my pick for Finals MVP. I know some people would disagree with me, but I think if you look at AD's stats from a defensive standpoint on the other side of the ball, LeBron played some good defense, but he wasn't like a defensive stalwart the way that AD was.
okay. Yeah, I think I know we talked about this, but like it was just so frustrating to see um Anthony Davis. Like I don't know, he probably had a gazillion blocks last night. Like every single shot that came into the paint was contested by Anthony Davis, and it
True.
was just so frustrating to see nothing change. Like
From
it was,
from the coaching perspective
yeah,
yeah.
Eric's from Spoelstra. Like obviously we know Bam Adebayo is a good player, but at some point, like once you're getting down, okay, once you're down 15, like as a coach, you want to be like, let's ride with them. Like things are gonna change. These are gonna change. We'll pick up. We'll find something. Once you get down 20, 25 points, like you have like regardless of how good your game plan you thought your game plan was, you have to make a change.
Yeah.
And like and I think that change was bringing in a true big, either Olynyk or
A
Mars
true
Leonard.
big? You're calling Bam not a true big?
Well, I mean a true center. Sorry, a true five. A
Okay.
true five. Bam Adebayo is not a true five,
I mean,
right?
Kelly
And
Olynyk is not a true five either, though.
I would
He's
say
he's
he's
been that stretch four position. He came in as a stretch four in the league, and he still is a stretch four in the league.
well, I
Like
think he's
he couldn't handle AD in the post if AD was gonna back him down.
well. I'm saying offensively because the reason why they got down 20 30 points because they couldn't score a bucket. They couldn't score a bucket, and I think at that point that offense was more important in that time than their defense was
Yeah, I
because
I feel like even Bam's defense wasn't even resolute in that regard. Like this is where AD really proved himself, and but again, before we get into more of the Heat's problems, What do you think about me saying AD should have? I think he should have been the Finals MVP. He's my pick. Who would have been your pick for Finals MVP?
I would have picked Anthony Davis too. If he didn't have that one bad game, like
Yeah,
Anthony Davis would be the Finals MVP.
yeah, exactly.
I think LeBron just got it by default. Like, I think even before.
Well, he did have a 40-point game.
They lost. They lost
And
that game.
I know, but he also he averaged like almost a triple double for the whole for the series.
I think he did. He did average triple double, but like.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well,
then I mean that's pretty good.
I think that LeBron James was the best player on that team. Well, I think. Yeah, he was
I
the
don't
best
know.
player on
I
the
mean,
team,
yeah. Go ahead.
I think Anthony Davis was more valuable for what they did to close the series. Their defense won them that game. It wasn't their spectacular offense. It was like Anthony Davis contested every single shot that was in the paint.
Yeah, Kendrick Nunn, swat away.
Every single
Jay Crowder, swat away. Jimmy Butler, swat away.
He did.
Bam Adebayo, get out of here.
He had a fly swatter and he was just whacking people.
No, it was such a fun game because I love defense. I think defense wins championship. It was such Game 6 was so much fun to watch because you got the Lakers focused on playing great defense to shut down whatever little offensive hope that the Heat felt that they had. But also, again, we'll get into this, but Jimmy Butler, I mean, he looked really tired. I mean, he was playing so many minutes. There's only so much you can do. But before we move on to the Heat, LeBron's legacy, we do have to discuss this. Everyone's discussing this. What does this mean, to you as far as, LeBron's legacy? Now that he's won his 4th Finals MVP and his 4th title, 3rd title, or his 3rd team that he's won a title with. And he got a title on the West, in the Western Conference Finals, through the Western Conference.
Well, I think he was very fortunate to play the teams that he did that they were able to play.
Okay.
He took advantage of this season when there was 2 top 5 players not healthy and not active.
He took advantage. You're saying LeBron took advantage?
Yeah, he did. He did. There was no Steph Curry. There was no Kevin Durant. With those 2 players just active in the league, that's instead of playing a Denver Nuggets, you play a Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, healthy. Like, that's a totally different story.
But did he take advantage? Because I felt like he had the same opportunity as everybody else in the bubble.
He was able to take advantage of those teams not being, of those players not being healthy.
You can only play who's in front of you, bro.
Right, and he got very lucky. He got very lucky. The Lakers. You could clip this, save it for later. LeBron James and the Lakers together are not winning another championship. They're not. That's just as simple as this.
I will clip this. I will definitely clip this.
I hope you do. Them together, they will not. LeBron James and the Lakers, not together, they won't win another championship.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say. I think this championship proves that the Lakers are a viable team, not just this year, but next year moving forward. Even with the Warriors and the Nets coming back, the Lakers have a legitimate chance to win the next year's title. With LeBron getting rest and AD getting rest, getting better as a team, because this is the first year. That's why I don't want to hear anything about the fact that the Clippers needed reps with each other. The Lakers were built this season. That's it. So the Lakers, a second season for LeBron to say, okay, maybe we don't have Danny Green, we use Taylor Horton, the rookie, more. Maybe instead of using Caruso a lot, we get Lonzo back and we re-sign him, right? We keep Caruso and Rondo, but hopefully we sign another point guard that can really push us forward, right? Like, these are things that the Lakers now can adjust with Rob Pelinka, who did a great job, who is the true executive of the year, who built this team. After Kawhi said no, after Paul George said no, after so many players said no, he still was able to get the AD trade, build a team, get people like Dwight Howard and Rondo on board for another season. Get Rondo on board for another season. We lost Zubac. We didn't have the talent. We didn't have the physicality. We didn't have the wing defenders. We didn't have the 3-point shooters. We now are in the driver's seat in the Western Conference, in my opinion.
I think that's hilarious because every year when LeBron James goes to the Heat, he wins a championship in his second year. When LeBron James goes back to the Cavs, he wins a championship in the second year. Now he's on the Lakers and he wins a championship in the second year.
Okay.
This is just a testament.
Wait a minute, but he didn't get it. He didn't get a chance to get into the playoffs his first year in the Lakers. So you using that pattern is not. This is technically his first.
No,
year.
this is his second year.
No, I know, but this is more like his first because he never even got to finish the season because he had that groin
injury. They
injury.
weren't going to make the playoffs if he was healthy anyway.
Are you kidding me?
Below 500 when he got hurt.
No, they weren't. They were top 4. They were top 4 in the West when he got hurt.
No, they were a 500 team.
Incorrect.
They were
Incorrect.
scratching.
All right, so I'll let you finish. I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
They were scratching to get into the playoffs. This team is not built for long-term success. This team is not. LeBron James is getting older. Tell me which player is good besides Anthony Davis and Kyle Kuzma is getting better. Every single person on this team is declining.
Caruso.
Alex Caruso is going to decline. There's no way he gets any better.
He's going to decline? Are you kidding me? He's just getting started.
Alex Caruso is not getting any better than this is the best you're going to get from an Alex Caruso type player. He's not going to average 10 points for you.
All right. Well,
Danny Green
let's
getting worse.
Okay.
Danny Green is getting worse. Markieff Morris is getting worse.
Markieff Morris was a diamond in the rough. Do not talk about that man.
He's going to get worse. He's going to decline. JaVale McGee is going to decline. Dwight Howard's going to decline. Rajon Rondo is going to decline. Unless Anthony Davis can become greater than he is now, unless he turns into Shaq, there's no way. They have no draft capital. There's nothing to do to improve this team unless you trade away Kyle Kuzma and get lucky that someone wants a Kyle Kuzma.
Look, bro, I'm just going to say this. Watch AD eat this offseason. Watch him bulk up and destroy the league. Second best player in the league after LeBron James. So, Hey, Steph Curry's great. I have nothing against Steph Curry. But let's roll back here for a second, right? So let's get back to LeBron's legacy. What does this mean? There's 3 questions we have to ask. Is he a Mount Rushmore player? Is he the greatest player of all time now? And is he the greatest Laker of all time? Those 3 questions.
Okay. Great. So I'll answer the easiest one. No, he's not the greatest Laker of all time.
Okay.
He's probably like based on what he's done so far, just in this short amount, he's obviously done great things. But like, longevity, I think also accounts to how you rank them in
that's like Kobe is still my number 1.
Exactly. So like, I would put Kobe, Magic, Shaq,
Kareem,
Jerry West,
James Worthy.
Like, I still put all those players above LeBron James as of now.
As a Laker, yeah.
Which he won't win a championship again with the Lakers, there's possibility for him to go up.
We'll see. We'll see.
The Lakers, right?
All right, Mount Rushmore player, another easy one. He is a Mount Rushmore player after this championship.
He's not.
He's eclipsed Larry Bird in my opinion now.
Yeah.
As the greatest small forward of all time.
Right. I think it's solidified now. We're chipping it in. People are chipping it in. Now it's done.
Yes.
Right. I of course have Jordan at 1, and I've always respected Kareem and all that.
Kareem is still my number 2. Kareem is still number 2.
Yeah, I would say Kareem is my number 2, and this has now LeBron James is pulling on Kareem.
Yeah,
he's pulling on Kareem.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So when LeBron James wins 6 championships and 6 Finals MVP, then I'll have a conversation about him being the greatest player of all time.
Yeah, he still lost me on that one because, for me it's still not gonna happen.
It's not.
Yeah, it's just for me. It's just Michael Jordan is perfect. Like, he's 6-0 in the finals. Yep. He won a Finals MVP, season MVP, and a gold medal in the same season. He's won a finals. He's won a season MVP and a Defensive Player of the Year in the same year. I think also Finals MVP in the same year. Like, he's just so great. on the defensive end. I think LeBron, he had 3 peak years on defense on the Heat, but besides that, you can literally look at the tape. He's not like he will hone in on a play. He will get behind the back blocks, but chase down blocks. But he's not like sit in the chair, let's go to work kind of guy. I think he has his moments, but Jordan was like a defensive player, and I think on top of the offensive greatness, MJ to me is still number 1. Okay, so go ahead.
I think this is like it's just a huge recency bias, because I think if you were young growing up and like you witnessed what Magic and what Magic and Larry Bird were doing, and then Jordan came along, I think they were saying, "Oh no, MJ is not the greatest. It's obviously Magic and Larry," right? As when they were growing up then, and I think that's like now that we have seen that now those people are gone, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, MJ really was the greatest," and I think like the people now who are saying like, "Oh, LeBron's the greatest," like in 10 years, once LeBron's career is finally cemented, we can fully compare their careers as of what they've done, what LeBron has finished and what MJ has finished, and we'll be able to fully compare after both their careers are done.
We'll see.
And it still won't level up to each other.
We'll see. It depends upon like what you define as greatest. All right, now going to the Heat side, you have an interesting take about who the real Finals MVP is.
Yeah. Well, I think it was obvious. The real Finals MVP was Jimmy Butler. No one outplayed Jimmy Butler except for maybe Anthony Davis.
Okay, not maybe. He did outplay him.
Just like a couple years ago when we're saying, "Oh, the Cavs were so outmatched. The Cavs, of course, they were going to lose." But LeBron James, look at him. And the same people.
But LeBron James wasn't Finals MVP when he got beat by Durant and Steph Curry.
You're right, but those were the murmurs that LeBron James, even though he lost, he should have won it. And
After the game 1 performance,
I never agreed with it. I didn't agree with it, but people were saying that.
And yeah, so but those people are silly, and we don't need to hear their opinions on this matter.
Well, I mean, I think it's a question because like he had a 50-point finals game, and his team wasn't good enough to even help him win a championship.
Jimmy Butler. Oh, you're talking about LeBron. Okay. Yeah. I was okay. All right. So, anyways, you think Jimmy Butler should have been Finals MVP? I disagree with you. I think this is heresy. I think you are like just mad because LeBron beat you again. But go ahead.
Jimmy Butler did the exact same thing LeBron James did.
Nope.
He led his points and he led his team in points, rebound, assists, blocks, every major.
Did he? No, but did he average a triple double?
He did. He near did.
No, he didn't. He didn't though. So he's not a Finals MVP.
But triple doubles don't mean it. Russell Westbrook is the greatest player of all time because he averaged a triple double the whole season.
No, we're talking about the finals. We're talking about the finals. Finals MVP.
Don't mean it.
They do mean
doubles don't mean it.
They do mean something, but I'm saying Jimmy Butler didn't average a triple double. Okay.
But you don't have to average a triple double.
No, but LeBron did in this finals. No, I'm just saying, like you're talking about statistics. LeBron actually averaged more than Jimmy Butler.
And Jimmy Butler also had the second greatest finals game of all time. Statistically, he had the second greatest finals game of all time.
Statistically, he had the second greatest finals game of all time. Statistically, yes. but impact.
Yeah,
because that's like saying Allen Iverson because of that game where he won Game 1 against the Lakers in 2000 or 2001, right? Like with Philly, like that was a great finals performance as well. Doesn't mean he should win Finals MVP.
He got reverse swept by the Lakers.
Bro, he literally didn't have no one to help him. He didn't have he had a Tyler Hero and he had a Duncan Robinson. Those boys came to they showed up. Those players, those men. I shouldn't call them boys. Those men came to play. Maybe not on defense, but on offense, they helped win some games.
They were not there all 6 games. They were spotty. They showed up there half the game.
Neither was Jimmy Butler. He wasn't there every single game.
The only game he didn't show up was his last game when after you play a million minutes for 5 games. That's all.
He put himself in his position by having to be down, by being in a what's it called, a final game, right? Like he put himself in his position. So I'm not gonna give him credit about having to get himself out of that position. That's on him.
well, teams have come back from 3-1 before, so I don't think saying he was down doesn't give him like that credit.
No, you have to come back, and he never fully.
Right.
The Heat never fully came back from a 3-1 lead. They never tied. If they had gone 3-3 and then lost Game 7, then you have a point. But they never got to a Game 7.
Yeah, you're right, but they were one game away from getting there, and I think the NBA should recognize.
Oh my gosh!
Like just like it's a regular season MVP.
No, stop.
Right?
Stop. No.
Just like it's the regular season MVP, it should be who was the greatest player in that finals.
No.
In
Stop.
that finals was Jimmy Butler.
The greatest player in the finals is called the Finals MVP, and that went to LeBron. Second, it would go to AD. Third, it would go to Butler. Third,
the finals
or Rondo would be third, actually.
Oh my! The finals MVP goes to the best player on the winning team. That's where the finals MVP goes.
Except for that Jerry West finals MVP.
Okay, 150 years ago when he played. Right.
I'm just saying.
The finals MVP
don't hate on him.
The best player on the winning team. In the regular season, the finals, the regular season MVP doesn't go to the best player on the team with the best record.
No, okay. Let's just back this up for a second. All right, you said your point. You're being ridiculous.
No,
Jimmy Butler is not the Finals MVP. Let's go next to who to blame. Like, let's just do that because, you're not making much sense to me. But because you're forgetting about Rondo, you're forgetting about KCP.
Rondo didn't. Are you really okay? If I'm saying it's blasphemy that Jimmy Butler was the Finals MVP, it's even more blasphemy to say Rajon Rondo was better.
Bro, do you see the Lakers winning certain games without Rondo? Game 1, game 2, game 4, even game 6. He had 20 plus points. That man is a beautiful. You said it yourself in the pregame, in the pre-show. He played like Magic Johnson. That man is amazing, bro. So yes, I would put Rondo. I put some votes towards Rondo. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'd rather have Steph Curry 2.0 out there than Rondo. Quinn Cook, the GOAT, the true GOAT, two-time champ.
Okay. All right. Anyways, all right. So I'm gonna. All right. Who to blame for the Heat side? This is for me. Bam got exposed. Like Giannis, he got exposed. That's the truth. All right. This whole thing where he got the block on Jason Tatum. He's the best player on the Heat team. He's this blooming star in the NBA. And then what happened? He got to the finals. He went against a real big man in AD and got manhandled. Even with his injury, which it was weird because he was holding his shoulder. He was saying his shoulder, but then he was holding his wrist. It's kind of weird. But this man, Bam, was terrible on defense, terrible on offense. He was not very good in this final series. Like, Duncan Robinson was better than him in this series. Bam Adebayo got exposed because he doesn't know how to shoot very well. Just like Giannis, and all the hate that Giannis gets, I want that same energy for Bam Adebayo. Because Bam Adebayo was exposed. He doesn't know how to shoot. He needs to know how to shoot a 3. He will continue to get exposed by teams because now they know, get a real big man like a Jokic, like an AD, like an Embiid out there on him, and he can't hang with him. Because people were calling for Kelly Olynyk to get more minutes than Bam Adebayo. Got exposed. That's who I blame in this series.
Okay. Bam Adebayo simply did not get exposed. Giannis got exposed. What they did to Giannis was exposure. Giannis averaged 30 points, 12, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists. And what the Heat did to him, he averaged nothing near what he averaged in the regular season. Bam Adebayo practically averaged the same thing that he did the whole season. His numbers were nearly the same, and he only played really 3.5 games, and 2 games were injured, were him coming off an injury. So it is Bam Adebayo did as best as he could, as I don't know, a third-year player, a 22-year-old player could do.
I don't want to hear that.
Giannis is
I don't want to hear that.
Giannis is a 2-time MVP, a 2-time. So there's not even a comparison.
No, I don't want to hear that. That Bam's young.
There's not even a comparison to the way Giannis got exposed to the way Bam didn't even get exposed.
He did get exposed. Look at his numbers. Look at his numbers in the final series versus the Lakers versus what his numbers were against the Celtics.
Yeah, they're 1 or 2 points difference. That's nothing compared
dramatic
to
drop off.
Oh, 2 points is a dramatic drop off.
Dramatic.
Oh, okay. Wow, I'm glad we're playing that with that kind of intellect. There is no way. He did not get exposed. He was injured for the first. He played half the first game, then he came back and he missed 2 games, and he played games 4, 5, and 6 off of injury.
But but here's the thing, and you have admitted to this. Who did you want? Who did you want in the game instead of Bam Adebayo?
I wanted Olynyk next to Adebayo.
Next to? Then the Lakers just counter with Dwight Howard and AD in the front court. What do you do then?
But that takes away a perimeter player from the Lakers.
That's a good point. But Bam Adebayo is still useless for you.
No, because he could get switched off onto Dwight Howard.
Yeah, but Dwight Howard is going to out-rebound him like he did in Game 1.
No, but Bam Adebayo is a better player than Dwight Howard. And
no, he's not.
Play Dwight Howard right
no, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Dwight Howard hit a 3.
Dwight Howard is a better player.
Dwight Howard is put some respect on this man. He is a 3-time dunk champion.
No. What is
he is
right
a 2 or 3-time defensive player of the year. This man gobbled up Jokic in the Western Conference Finals, and he shot a 3 in Game 6. Dwight Howard can shoot threes. Bam Adebayo can't shoot to save his life.
No. Bro, I'd put $1 million on Bam Adebayo making a 3 before I put Dwight Howard making a 3-pointer. That is ridiculous.
Dwight Howard did make a 3-pointer last night.
Bro, no one guarding him within 100 feet of him.
Bam Adebayo can't do that in a game. I want to see Bam Adebayo do that in a game.
Bam Adebayo can shoot the ball if
Dwight Howard's better. Dwight Howard's better.
No.
All right.
Dwight Howard is a better player than Bam Adebayo.
Right now, yes.
Okay. No. Is Bam Adebayo a better player? Is Dwight Howard a better player than Bam Adebayo?
Yes.
You couldn't even say it with a straight face. You laugh.
No. Okay, I'll say it with a straight face. Dwight Howard is a better player than Bam Adebayo.
That is.
Do you see Bam Adebayo winning 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards? No. Legitimate. No. I don't care. Over his career. Do you see Bam Adebayo winning 3?
In the present. Right now.
I said right now. Right now, Dwight Howard is better. Yes, Dwight Howard is better.
Right now, Dwight Howard is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate.
No. Right now, Dwight Howard is better. Right? Yeah, but right now, Dwight Howard is better than Bam Adebayo. Yes.
No, how could he? You should be
how
talking about.
No. How is Dwight Howard? Tell me factually. How is Dwight Howard worse? Just because he's older? Are you ageist?
No, he doesn't score as many points, as many rebounds.
He doesn't get the minutes. Give him the same minutes.
The same minutes as Bam. If you play the same minutes as Bam, he's not putting up the same production and value that Bam Adebayo.
That's not true. That's circumstantial.
Yes,
circumstantial evidence.
Okay, then look at Dwight's per 36 if you have to. It's not near.
Oh my gosh, Dwight Howard literally didn't get the same minutes as Bam Adebayo. Stop that. No, that's circumstantial evidence.
If you look at his per 36.
Okay, I'll look at his per 36 when he was with the Magic.
No, that was 10 years ago.
That's his prime. That's his prime.
But he's not in his prime.
No, but what I'm trying to say, even now, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying Bam got exposed. Even now, Dwight Howard is still a better player than Bam right now.
That is ridiculous.
Dwight can shoot just as good as Bam.
No, he can't shoot as good as Bam.
Dwight can out-rebound Bam. We saw that. And he's a better defender right now than Bam is. He's a better defender.
Dwight can't guard anyone on the perimeter.
Okay. Well, neither could Bam. Neither could Bam.
Bam Adebayo can guard Jason Tatum. Can Dwight Howard guard?
He didn't guard Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum had an off series, and we all know that.
No,
don't say that. No, he did. He got 1 block, and now everyone's like hailing the arrival of Bam Adebayo.
Dwight Howard cannot guard the perimeter. He cannot. He's 0 perimeter defense. Bam Adebayo can take He can take guards, wings, and centers on the perimeter any day. Dwight Howard has never been able to guard the perimeter.
All right, let's move on.
Not one time in his career.
Let's move on.
That is ridiculous.
Last point before we move on.
This year.
Mercy. No, I'm done. No. Don't say he was an all-star. So what? He was an all-star. I don't care. Now here's the thing. All right.
Okay.
Last thing on the Heat side. Run it back or bulk up. Do you think the Heat will be back in next year's finals?
I don't think they're going to be in the finals next year. There's just too many things went right for them this year.
I agree.
For it to happen again.
I agree.
Same thing for Lakers. Too many things happen for Lakers for them to be back next year.
If Giannis figures this thing out, The whole East is the whole league will be put on notice if Giannis figures out this playoff thing.
Right.
All right.
And I think they keep the same team. I don't think I think only their players are only going to get better that they have. I don't think there's nothing like.
Well, it depends. If Tyler Hero is a legit star,
Mhm.
like a Devin Booker type of person,
Mm-hmm.
then you never know. But
Right.
they do need a legit big. Like this series proved the worth and value of a Hassan Whiteside. Because if you had Hassan Whiteside, then which they could have, if you had a Hassan Whiteside, then
or
you
Drummond
don't.
or
No, but they remember Hassan Whiteside was from like he was with the Heat for years, and they let him go, right? If you have Hassan Whiteside, you don't get bullied like this by the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
And we're back. What we want to talk about now is that since the Lakers came out of nowhere, and so many analysts said they were not going to win the championship, the Clippers were going to win, or the Celtics were going to win. Now the Lakers have destroyed what people's predictions were for this year. We go to next year. I've already said that they have the possibility of winning another title next year. Again, this is granted that everyone's healthy and we don't have some crazy COVID-19 kind of business. But the bubble may have been good for the Lakers. They obviously had great leadership by LeBron and AD and Vogel, and they were to stay focused. But now, looking at next year, who are going to be our picks for the Western Conference Finals, the top 8 in the Western Conference? There's some teams coming back. So, Joseph, go ahead.
Okay, so I'll go with my So this are standings for the West next year. So I have for the 1 seed, I have the Nuggets. I'll just go in order. I have the Nuggets, the Lakers, the Mavericks, the Clippers, the Rockets, the Warriors at 6, the Jazz at 7, and then the Trailblazers at 8. And then I put a 9th seed. This is just I hope this team does good as the Timberwolves have, but I don't think they'll make the top 8 seed. I don't think they'll make the playoffs.
I love D'Lo, but I think they're one player away and probably one coach away.
So I'll just explain. I think these are the 2 most important ones. I think the Nuggets, they won the 1 seed before. I think they're only getting better. Michael Porter Jr. is going to get better.
Michael Porter Jr. is better than Jamal Murray right now. This is true.
Okay.
He just did. Okay. Bro, he just didn't get the attempts, bro. If you let Jamal Murray say, "Hey, pass to Michael Porter Jr." You say, "Michael Porter Jr., I want you to shoot 20 times." Bro, Michael Porter Jr. is averaging 25 this next season. That's just true. That's just the truth.
Jamal Murray averaged 35 in the playoffs. So
no, I'm talking about for the season. Like MPJ, just give him the attempts and he'll average 25 easy.
Okay. So the Nuggets are just going to get better. Jokic's the best. They have the best center in the league. They're only going to get better, and hopefully they could pull off a trade for a third star. Yeah. And I have the Lakers.
Wait. The Nuggets don't need a third star. They have Jamal Murray. They have MPJ. They have Jokic. They're good.
Michael Porter Jr. for a Bradley Beal or something like that.
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Why are you hating on MPJ? He is the future.
Okay.
Fine. Okay. Trade him to us. Give us MPJ. We'll destroy you. We'll give you Cal. We'll give you Cal. Okay. What?
A bag of chips?
For who?
For a can of Coke and a bag of chips.
We'll give you Kyle Kuzma, Rondo, and Caruso. Actually, we'll keep Rondo. We'll give you KCP. Rondo is the GOAT.
I have the Lakers. I don't think that, and I have the Mavericks at the 3rd seed. I think I just can't. Luka Doncic is 22 years old.
Yeah. The Mavericks healthy should have won the Western Conference Finals. They looked dominant. They looked very dominant. And Kristaps Porzingis was playing really good defense.
Yeah. I hope I want them to make a deep playoff run next year. I have the Clippers at 4. I have the Rockets at 5, and then the Warriors, I think they're gonna come back and they're gonna slowly get back into rhythm. And I don't think I could easily see them being the 2nd or 3rd seed if they come back perfectly as they did the year before. But I'm predicting that they're definitely gonna make the playoffs with probably around the 6th seed. Then I have the Jazz with Mitchell and Gobert. I think they're gonna run it back. They should be fine unless that chemistry breaks up a little bit.
I think the Jazz might trade Gobert. I think they should. I think he he got exposed in the playoffs as well. He's completely useless in a playoff run. He's just no help, and they need a legitimate big.
I think a second and third option is more important to that Jazz team than Rudy Gobert. Like a true second and third option would have been more valuable to them than Gobert.
Or maybe they make a play for Giannis, right? If you see Giannis and Mitchell tag up, that would be legitimate.
Yeah. And then I have the Trailblazers at the 8th seed. Hopefully, I mean, there's no reason why they shouldn't be in the playoffs. I mean, Dame, CJ, Nurkic, they have. I don't think they're gonna have Hassan Whiteside back. I'm not sure, but like
Maybe the Jazz
they
pick
have a
him up.
good they have a good squad.
Yeah.
So that's
No.
my top picks for the West.
All right. My top picks are number 1 Lakers. I think we run it back again. But I'm okay with switching 1 and 2 with Nuggets because then maybe LeBron is just trying to rest more. But Lakers, Nuggets 2, Mavericks 3, Warriors 4. I think they do come back and they make a late season rush. I put Suns at 5, so that means I'm dropping out the Rockets. I don't believe in them anymore. I think they're completely exposed. They've lost D'Antoni, so I don't think what other coach could come in and work with those two personalities. Russell Westbrook cannot shoot a 3 consistently. James Harden cannot play defense consistently, and now they don't have any real bigs. And who else wants to commit to small ball in this league? Maybe they'll get Clint Capella back, but maybe he says, "Hey, I'm done with y'all." Maybe they'll get Hassan Whiteside. They'll have to play a lot smaller. So I think the Rockets are done. This is it. They either blow up the team and try to get picks, or they're going to be irrelevant because I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. There's too many good teams coming back. The Warriors are going to be tearing up the league. I think the Spurs will come back. Jazz will be at 6. They'll figure something out. Donovan Mitchell's just too good, and the coaching staff and the Jazz are too good for them not to make the playoffs. The Spurs will be back at spot number 7, and I put the Trailblazers at number 8. But I do want to respect here. I know that some people will be like, hey, you're missing out a really obvious team here. But I think the Clippers came undone. I think Paul George has shown that he is not a leader. He is playoff P. Is not a real thing.
George Paul.
George Paul is a real thing. So I think that team, whoever their coach is going to be, is going to have a hard time because Kawhi Leonard doesn't listen to nobody, and he's not a vocal leader. Pat Bev is trash, and Lou Will. I love Lou Will.
Lemon pepper Lou.
They're gonna lose, and they're gonna lose Montrezl Harrell, and they got exposed. They don't have a legitimate big. Zubac. That as a Laker fan, I remember when Magic traded away Zubac, and I thought I was really mad about that. But Zubac is not good enough for them to be their starting big man. So the Pelicans could also make a run, a healthy Zion for a whole season, with maybe a D'Antoni office, with Lonzo maybe popping off, with Brandon Ingram coming back. Could be crazy, or the Timberwolves. So I don't see the Rockets coming back. They're done, and the Clippers are not gonna have a chance. So we'll see what happens.
As George Paul could average 5 points a game, and they will still make the playoffs.
No, it's not happening.
There's no way that they don't make the playoffs unless Kawhi Leonard plays 5 games against injured for the whole season. That's the only way.
Here's the question: is Kawhi after this season going to become a leader in that locker room and stop load managing? And if he's going to continue to load manage and Paul George is going to play Paul George and the team does not respect him anymore, there's scrubs. There's people on the 15th part of the bench who think they are better than Paul George. That team is done. I'm sorry. Sorry, Clippers. Sorry, Clippers, but I actually was thinking hope, but now that I really logically think about this, the Warriors are coming back, the Spurs are definitely coming back, and the Pelicans are coming. You're not going to make the playoffs.
I think it's bold. I don't just because the bottom like that 6, 7, 8 could be taken by any 5 teams, right? And it's bold to put you have the Suns at 5, but but it could happen. The Suns could win 40.
The Suns went perfect in the bubble race.
Yeah.
They just started lower than the Blazers.
Yeah, I think if they get a true point guard to put aside, a defensive point guard to put alongside Devin Booker, and I don't have the Thunder making the playoffs just because I feel like it would be. I think Chris Paul is not going to want to stay there just to develop. I think he wants to go play for contender. And I think
but who's going to take that bill? And he's very old as well.
if the Suns, I think if the Thunder want to trade Chris Paul, I think even though the Suns are not a contender, that's a perfect match because you have if Chris Paul can pick up the slack defensively for Devin Booker,
Oh
and then you
man.
have DeAndre Ayton, Kelly Oubre, like that team, I could see them making the 5 seed and making the playoffs then.
Yeah. Another thing that's interesting, the Celtics didn't who's the big man kind of big tall white dude who shoots threes on the Suns. The Celtics didn't
Aaron Baines, yeah.
the Celtics, if they had Aaron Baines going against Bam Adebayo, I think the Celtics win. Daniel Tice is not bad, but I think he's better as a backup. I think Aaron Baines can shoot the three, is bigger, can rebound, and box people out. Man, that squad with their coaching staff is on the come up, and I really believe that the Suns are coming back. The Suns this year were able to beat the Clippers in important games. The Suns are going to make the playoffs this year. And Zion, a healthy Zion. Come on now.
It would be really cool to see Mike D'Antoni, and if the Pelicans work out, like that would be crazy.
Yeah, I did have hope for the Clippers because I was thinking, okay, if Paul George's speech works, they keep Doc Rivers and they just load up again, maybe get a big, for someone, because they do have Reggie Jackson. They have a really deep squad. They have I'm forgetting his name, but they have a lot of good players. But the fact that the not rumors, but like legitimate reports came out that the team was like, we don't want to listen to what you had to say, Paul George.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be your second best player. They got rid of Doc Rivers. Kawhi is like an unspoken, like he's a very silent person. He's not a vocal leader. I don't believe in that chemistry really holding.
Yeah. I mean, even like the worst case scenario I see for the Clippers, like if everyone's healthy, the worst case scenario is still the 6, 7, 8 seed. Like there's no way that
they're not making the playoffs. I'm saying it. I'm calling it right now. They
Okay.
are not. Now, this is if everyone's healthy in the West. So that means the Spurs are healthy. They didn't have a healthy squad this season. If Deontay Murray is healthy, if your guy is healthy, I forget his name. If all their players are healthy, they go and win. They get a playoff spot. The Warriors are going to get a playoff spot. So that's already 2 spots. Then the Suns are going to get a playoff spot. As long as my top 4, Lakers, Nuggets, and Mavericks and Warriors don't have any injuries, there's no room for the Clippers in this upcoming year. There's just no room. They have who's going to coach them? They have no good coach. They have no team chemistry, no real leadership.
Kawhi has never missed a playoff. Has never missed the playoffs, and I don't think that's going to stop this year. I think it's impossible. I think it's more impossible for him not to make the playoffs.
I think Kawhi is due for a major injury this upcoming season.
Bro, he already had that injury with the Zaza.
I think he's due for another major injury. He looks achy breaky.
Bruh, okay.
All right, well we can move on. Let's
LeBron is on pace for another groin strain next year.
Hey, you might not be wrong. All right, let's go to the East because we're definitely gonna have some more opinions about that. The East to me is still the least. They're terrible, but they do have some decent teams like the Magic.
The Magic.
Hey, do you believe in magic? All right, go ahead.
Okay, so I have 1 through 8. I have Celtics as the 1 seed, and I have the Bucks, the Heat, the Nets, the Raptors, the Sixers, the Pacers, and at the 8th seed, I don't have the Magic making it back this year. I have the Wizards if they keep Bradley Beal. So if John Wall, Bradley Beal are together, I say they can make the 8th seed. And if not, I have the Hawks with Trae Young and Clint Capella and John Collins.
Wait, what was that name you said with Bradley Beal? There's another player you mentioned.
John Wall.
Wow, I forgot about John Wall. He should be healthy, right?
Yeah, he's getting paid what, $40 million to sit on the bench.
Dang, I forgot about John Wall, bro. I legitimately forgot about it. Like, no hate.
Yeah,
I legitimately forgot about him. We'll see what happens. Yeah. I think the Hawks might be due for a playoff spot though. My picks are the Heat, number 1, Celtics, number 2. Again, unless they get a big, the Celtics are not going to be able to do well. And then the Nets at 3, Raptors at 4, Bucks at 5, I think the Bucks drop all the way to 5. I think Giannis needs to figure some things out. Pacers at 6, 76ers at 7, Magic at 8. And I have no one else that I think could sneak in.
Yeah. The bottom of the East is really the bottom of the league. So it's like, yeah, I think we know like we know the 8 teams. It's just who's going to get that last spot. But we know the top 7. We just a toss up for that 8 seed, like it was this year, kind of.
Well, I just believe in the Magic. They've been consistently making the 8 seed. They're a strong team. They know what they're doing. So, yeah, I think the Magic are actually getting stronger and stronger each year.
Yeah, I think that the Magic are definitely like a good 8 seed, but like I think John Wall and Bradley Beal is better than Vucevic and whoever you also want to call the second best.
Don't sleep on Vucevic. Like,
no,
Vucevic is really good. He's really, really good. He just plays in a very small market. Like, if a team like the Clippers could snag a Vucevic, he could challenge Jokic for top spot center in the league.
Well, he's definitely an all-star. Like he was an all-star, and I think that he's a I don't know, top 7 center in the league, but like
he's a top. I think he might be a top 5. Honestly,
he might. Well, we have Jokic, we have Embiid, we have I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Vucevic, yeah.
We have Adebayo. We have
Adebayo's not. Is he listed as a center?
Yeah. Well, I think this whole season he's played a center.
He's not top 5. That's for sure.
He's definitely top 5.
He's an
all-star.
He can't shoot. He can't shoot.
Than Vucevic.
He's not better. He's not, dude. Look at the stats. He's not better than Vucevic.
Bam Adebayo is better than Vucevic. He's a better defensive player by 100% better than Vucevic. Vucevic has 0 defense, donut defense.
Okay.
I could score on Vucevic if I wanted to.
Okay, stop. All right.
Bam Adebayo is better than Vucevic. 100%.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, that kind of wraps up basketball. Was there any other things that we missed that you wanted to hit on before we move on to the NFL?
I would say that I hope the Warriors win the championship next year.
you just that Laker hate. So because we know DeMar DeRozan ain't winning one anytime soon.
I hope he doesn't stay with the. The reason why I don't have the Spurs, like the reason why I don't have them as an 8 seed is because I hope DeMar doesn't stay. Hope he opts out and goes plays for a contender. That's why I don't have the Spurs there.
Yeah, but you mean maybe the Clippers or maybe the Lakers sign him? What if the Lakers sign him? You're gonna join the Laker Nation?
I was talking with Dylan yesterday. I said DeMar could opt out and sign for like cheap for the Lakers.
Hey, we take him. We definitely would take him.
Then I'm buying every single jersey except for LeBron's.
He'd be like the 5th best shooting guard Laker of all time.
Yep.
Right behind Byron Scott.
Bro, DeMar DeRozan is better than Byron Scott. Byron Scott is deep.
All right, I just want to say this though. The NBA did an excellent job, just amazing, excellent job with this bubble. I didn't think they could pull it off with the whole coronavirus thing. They did a great job with the pandemic. The players were focused for the most part. They did their job. They didn't get COVID-19 into the building or into the campus, and the coverage was great. It was just an amazing affair. Honestly, as far as good things that happened this year, the NBA really did an amazing job. We were able to get a full-on playoffs and a full-on championship run, and it was amazing. So, and also just hats off to the teams and the players and just everyone who was involved, all the cleaning staff and personnel. Thank you so much. As an NBA fan, it was amazing, and also just all the messages about staying focused on the different matters around the country, Black Lives Matter, all that stuff. Really appreciate the focus on that as well, but not detracting from the game. Just thank you. Really, honestly, from an NBA fan, I really appreciate it.
I don't think some people could have gone through this quarantine without the bubble.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because what else, if we weren't watching basketball, what else are we supposed to watch?
Yeah, no, seriously. Because the NFL, we'll get into it, but the NFL's kind of, But thank you, NBA. Thank you. Literally, it was fun. It was entertaining. It was competitive. That's another thing I was worried about, how competitive would it actually be? After those first couple games, it was highly competitive and amazing. We got amazing moments. So thank you so much.
They gave the players and the teams the best opportunity to come back to get even they were off. They had an off season and then came back for a bubble.
Yeah.
They had scrimmage games and then they had those like 2 warm-up games against actual teams, and then they had the 8 games.
Yeah.
So they really gave them a chance to work back into shape and then get ready to go.
Yeah, and
So,
and honestly, like, who knows what would have happened? Would the Heat have gone so as far if they didn't have the bubble? No,
right.
no fans screaming at you, no travel time. Like the
Right.
bubble gave everyone an opportunity to really
Yep.
get it. Like it was like anyone's chance to win, and actually that was kind of exciting from a fan perspective.
Yep.
All right, well, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll come back with the NFL updates. All right, and we're back with the NFL. So the NFL did not do a bubble, and it's been kind of interesting. But before we get into our COVID-19 thoughts of everything, this weekend had some crazy, crazy news. You're obviously seeing on the screen the video of the Cowboys, and obviously we're going to get to it. So if you're a little squeamish, we will be getting to that part where, something happened. Yeah, so this game, right, with the Cowboys and, and the Giants, my Giants, right?
Supposedly.
We could have won this game. It made me so mad what happened in this game. Like Bradbury, Michael Gallup, yeah. But what happens here is just horrible. I just want to start off with this news. Dak Prescott, I've hated on him, but I also respect him only because he's a Cowboys quarterback. That's why I hate on him. But he had this gruesome injury. And what did you think when you saw it?
Well, like I saw it like exactly what happened. I was doing homework and I was watching it, and I was like, I couldn't believe. I thought it was funny because remember Tony Romo was like, oh, hopefully he's dealing with cramps because he was kind of like pulling. He's like, oh, it's a cramp or whatever. And then when I was looking,
his foot's twisted,
and then his foot is like facing the opposite direction. I'm like,
that's not a cramp.
Terrible.
That's not a cramp, bro.
Yeah, that's not a cramp. That's a.
It's a cry for help.
Yeah, it was just not a fun sight to see.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like I keep forgetting how rough the NFL is, right? Like I'll say that the NBA is soft. I always continuously say NBA is soft. The league is soft, but NFL, even in this day and age, where they have so many rules to protect the players and especially to protect the quarterback. But when a quarterback becomes a running back, this is the kind of stuff that can happen and did happen today or yesterday.
Yeah, yeah, it's terrible to see, especially for Dak, and it sucks anytime a player gets injured for the whole season. It just brings the fun out of it for some people.
Yeah, and this is definitely season-ending injury. You see it on the video right now. He's holding his calf, but it's twisted. It was a beautiful moment, though. This is the only reason why it was good to have Jason Garrett on our team. Was just to see Jason Garrett show up and kind of be there to help comfort Dak because he drafted Dak. Him and Mike McCarthy sitting there looking at Dak and just trying to console him. That was a beautiful moment. Besides that, it'd be nice to get Jason Garrett off the team, but.
He was calling some, like, he looked like a scientist out there calling plays for him to keep him in that game. So,
bro, you need to stop with your foolishness. Jason Garrett, a scientist? He looked like a scientist.
Jason Garrett is not a bad coach.
Okay, you want to take him? Let's switch offensive coordinators. You take him. You want him?
Bro, he's worked with a good running game all his career, so I wouldn't be mad.
Oh my gosh, bro! See, you already backtracking.
Bro, Jason Garrett, he's not that bad. I mean, obviously, like, they haven't had postseason success, but like, he's not terrible. Like,
well, Dak actually won under Garrett. I think 2 post games, so two playoff games actually. No, I mean, it's just tiring to see, right? This whole idea that Jason Garrett, he got fired because he wasn't a very good coach. And then he gets rehired. It's like, doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know why Joe Judge picked him as an offensive coordinator.
It's hilarious because, like, all the Giants, well, the whole NFC East got to laugh at the Cowboys for having Jason Garrett. And
now we got him.
But Jason Garrett.
That's what I struggle with. Like, what was that logic from Joe Judge? And Joe Judge, I'm gonna start calling for his resignation soon.
Right.
Like,
Well,
this is a game you should lose. You have the backup quarterback, right? Your defense is playing okay against a very good receiving core and an amazing running back. Now, I know you don't have Saquon, but do something.
Devontae Freeman was playing pretty good.
Yeah,
Like he was giving them some good spurts. But like I think Jason Garrett, he's obviously like maybe he's not a good head coach, but he could be. Who knows? Like I think if he's not controlling the whole show, he could be a pretty decent offensive coordinator.
yeah, but then what Joe Judge and the defense and just the whole team together just looks terrible every single week. The offensive line is terrible. Special teams makes mistakes. It's just really, really bad. Like this is the worst season of Giants football I have watched so far in my Giants like fan career. And I go back to the early Eli Manning days. The early Eli Manning days where he was also still a pick machine. He wasn't reading coverages very well before he went on that Super Bowl run. But they were still a decent team back then. We haven't won a game, Joseph. We haven't won a single game. The Atlanta Hawks, I think, have won a game. The Dolphins.
Hawks, the Falcons.
And
the Falcons.
Oh, sorry. The Atlanta Falcons. And then the Dolphins beat your team, so they actually have some wins. This is ridiculous. We're the worst team in the league, I think, right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, other injuries to note. Yeah.
Well, just for the whole season, Bosa's out, Barkley's out, Solomon Thomas is out, Drew Lock is out. Like,
no, it's okay. We're not gonna miss him. It's fine.
There's a lot of just crippling injuries, and it's just terrible.
Well, your team is playing with like half of like you're playing with the second string essentially.
Yeah.
On offense.
I mean, yeah, we'll talk. Like, we did lose to the Dolphins, and I think there was a lot of pressure on Kyle Shanahan to start Garoppolo if he's like. I don't believe watching that game, Garoppolo, you could tell he wasn't like.
He's not 100%.
He wasn't 100%. They should have waited another week, and I like as a fan, like you were kind of growing restless seeing these backups play. You're like, oh, when is Jimmy G coming back? When is Jimmy?
I'm fine. Nick Mullins has been playing decently. Like, he's not the best thing since Prime Rib, but he's very good.
Yeah, and I think that we rushed it, and it made it worse. So like, if I hope Jimmy G gets one more week of rest, even this next week. Don't start him next week. Give him one more week.
Yep.
Because with the NFL adding another playoff spot, we can a team is going to make the playoffs most likely at 8-8 or 7-9. That's set. So as long as we get there, and who knows, like we get help, the 49ers get healthy and everything. Hopefully things look brighter on the second half of the season.
Yeah, no, that's true. And the extra playoff spot is a very important point. I want to say this, though, to you. And this is not me mocking you, but I kind of told you so about this. When the 49ers lost the Super Bowl last year to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs and Andy Reid, that amazing offense and the best tight end in the game, right? Mm-hmm. When you guys lost, you told me it's okay. We were second place. We're going to run it back, and we'll be back here next year. And I tried to warn you about this because the NFL is a brutal, brutal game. Right. And you don't always get the chance to come back and run it back. It's very, very likely that you won't because of injury, because another team starts popping off. So now do you understand what I'm trying to say? Is that you were the hottest team, and now
so I think
you're just trying to get the last playoff spot.
So I think that after the Super Bowl, every single person on our team was healthy. So of course the premise is like, oh, if we're healthy next year, what's the problem, right? But when you're starting quarterback, tight end, wide receiver, running back, defensive end, defensive tackle, and cornerback, all are injured within the first 5 weeks and all miss games, there's no way you can expect that sort of excellence from a team as they were last year. It's just not possible. It's not possible.
It's more than just that, though. The other thing to it is that it's not just coming back with the same squad and saying, hey, we're so good, we're right here, we don't need to get any better. You actually need to improve every year too, even if you got really far, got really deep in the playoffs.
Right.
And there are NFC teams that did get better than they were last year. I think the Seahawks are better than they were last year. I think the Packers are better than they were last year, right? And now the Bucks are way better than they were last year.
I think
they're still we still have to analyze them, but you still.
I don't think teams got better. I don't think the Seahawks or the Packers got better.
Are you kidding me?
No, they were doing the same thing they were doing last year. Last year, the Seahawks went 7-0 to start the season or something like that, and we were also 7-0 to start the season. They were perfect in the beginning of the season. They were like 12-4, and we were 13-3. So they were only one game behind us. The Packers were also perfect until we met each other. So these teams were amazing last year until they got smoked in the playoffs.
All right, we'll see. We'll see what happens, man, because it doesn't look like you're going to make it back to the Super Bowl.
Those teams are exactly the same.
All right, but are you confident that that your team, the 49ers, are going to make it back to the Super Bowl this season?
Right now?
Yes.
Absolutely not. Okay. Our starting quarterback is injured. Kittle missed games. Richard Sherman hasn't played a game. Bosa's out for the season. I don't think if you're a 49ers fan right now and you're looking at our roster, there's no way, unless everyone gets healthy before the playoffs and we sneak into the playoffs, if we're 100% healthy, even then you should still have doubt. Because you can't expect this kind of amount of injuries to not affect the team at all.
Okay, so it's kind of what I said then, right? It's kind of what I've been saying.
No, you
can't expect to come back again. That's my whole point.
No, but it wasn't because of injuries. If it was because they were playing bad, then okay, they were playing bad, and we could.
Well, Jimmy G did play bad.
Well, he had a bad game, right?
He got carried by your team.
Coming off an injury, he played bad, right?
No. I mean, the Super Bowl and last season, he wasn't like a really good quarterback.
He was a really great quarterback. He was top 5 in completion percentage and everything. He led the league. He was top 5 in a bunch of major statistical categories for a quarterback.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm not gonna convince you right now. Let's see what happens in 4 weeks. We'll come back to this question.
Well,
all right.
I mean, if we're healthy in 5 weeks, hopefully, but if we're not, then that's tough.
True. All right.
And I think that.
Oh, go ahead.
And that has to go with how the NFL handled this COVID situation. There was no preseason,
right?
No preseason games, no training camps, and you're just pushing these players to start playing, like after a week or two of practice. Like that's insane. And I think games are having to be postponed because of the way they're handling it. Some games are being put to later. It's just the NBA was the model of how to do it.
Yes.
How to put this on, and the NFL is just like the California teams, they're not letting fans come, but other parts like Kansas City, they look like they had like 50% of capacity or whatever.
Yeah, Kansas City is kind of botching it when it comes to COVID. Right. Dallas Cowboys had a lot of fans in their arena. You know, there's a lot of teams are botching this COVID-19 thing for sure, and I think it's just greedy owners, in my opinion. Raiders. A lot of people are just, yeah.
And when it comes down to it, it's the healthiest team is going to win. Like,
yeah,
that's simple. It's just that simple.
I think you made a great point. I think the healthiest team will win, and I think it's going to be interesting because, you know, teams that are not putting in these measures to protect their players, and then there's so many more players to worry about on an NFL roster than an NBA roster. You know, one player sneaking off for the night gets COVID for the rest of the team, and then you're disqualified. I mean, it's going to be really rough. We'll see what happens. But this is why I think the NFL should have had 2 bubbles, and they should have cut interconference battles and just say, hey, within your conference, within your location, maybe even 4 bubbles, so that, teams could come in, just play each other, right, and then go to another bubble for the playoffs. I think that would have been better.
Yeah, I definitely like they should have tried something. They're not even trying anything.
Right.
And so
and it's really like it's crazy because they finished their season and had 4, 5, 6 months to get ready for COVID.
Well, yeah, they had March, April, May, June, July, August. Like they had more than half a year to prepare.
Yeah. And it really speaks to the ineptitude, but I think also greed and reluctance by these owners who are really rich to really take COVID seriously. And that's really unfortunate because now you're getting a botched product. And I know some people are trying to blame the ratings for other nefarious reasons, like, oh, because they're focusing on Black Lives Matter and things like that. But like, to me, it's one, obviously there's a lot of people who don't have jobs, right? Mm-hmm. But it's also because you're not doing this very well. Yeah. Thankfully the players are competitive though, and we have gotten some really good games. But we'll see what happens. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think like they're finding they find coaches for not wearing a mask at the game. Like, that's like, if that's what you're worrying about, then that's pretty petty. Like, there's bigger things that they could be doing than finding the coaches for not wearing a mask. Like, that was so dumb.
Yeah, I think, like, for instance, like the NBA did have that, that one problem, right, where Daniel House snuck in a lady, right? Again, yeah. NFL has that problem all the time in every single season, and now you're compounding with the idea that you can't sneak in people because you may get sick from them. Right. Oof. Very interesting.
And then I was kind of excited for this. We're talking about some firing. So
yeah,
Bill O'Brien finally got fired from the Texans.
Yeah, I'm happy for Deshaun Watson.
They get to breathe finally. Yeah. And JJ Watt said he didn't like him, and if JJ Watt said he didn't like him, then
JJ Watt said that.
Yep.
Bro, you definitely should. You should definitely fire.
Yeah, and now I think Romeo Crennel is like, now he's the oldest head coach, right? Or he's the oldest sitting head coach right now.
Yeah.
But he's 1-0 with the Texans, so that's all that matters.
Well, that's come on. I mean, they're not winning because of all that. Yeah. I don't know why they got rid of DeAndre Hopkins though, or they didn't. They lost him.
That's why as soon as that trade happened, like, I would have fired him right
there. Okay, just real quick. Again, to my point about saying you're going to get right back to it. Your division got tougher because Arizona Cardinals are really good now this year. That's what I'm talking about. They got better, and you guys stayed the same. Even if you're healthy, the Arizona Cardinals got better.
No, how did they get better? They got D-Hop, right?
They got D. That's really a big improvement for the offense.
Yeah, but our team was already so many miles ahead of them last year that adding D-Hop is going to help them offensively, right? But we're also our team is so young that it's, as Cal Murray is improving, their young rookies are improving. So is Nick Bosa improving. So is our young receivers are improving. Our team was so young last year as well. Our linebackers are improving. Our defensive line is improving.
No, I mean, I don't disagree with that statement about your young people are getting better too. But what is the most important position in the NFL? Quarterback.
Yeah.
I would say right now, Kyler Murray is a better quarterback than Jimmy G. And he's only in his second year. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. So if your quarterback is getting way better than the opposing team's quarterback in your division, that's raising the level of your team, right? If Kyler Murray stays healthy, right? If he doesn't get hit like Dak did or whatever, because he does run a lot, he's gotten way better at reading coverages, and he has D-Hop, and he has that old guy, Larry, whatever his name is, right, to throw to. Bro, and Arizona's defense isn't nothing to sniff at. I'm sorry, but even if you had a healthy team, your division is a lot rougher now. A lot rougher.
Their defense is not good at all. They
actually have a decent defense. I think the Arizona Cardinals are the best. The Arizona Cardinals are the best team in your division right now.
Better than the Seahawks?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Better.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Yes, the Arizona Cardinals are better than the Rams. Yes.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. The Rams are overhyped. They're not as good as people are making them out to be.
Are you serious?
I'm very serious.
Last year you could have said that, but right now they're 4-1.
Dude, last week's game against the Giants, they didn't even get past 20 points on our defense. They couldn't score more than 20 points on our defense. Dallas Cowboys scored plus 30 on our defense. The Rams are suspect, and their defense is suspect.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am very serious. The Cowboys, if it wasn't for that call on Michael Gallup with offensive interference, Michael Gallup was smoking. Who's that cornerback that they signed?
Ramsey.
Yeah, Ramsey, right? He was smoking Ramsey. Aaron Donald is doing well this season, actually. But besides that, the Rams are suspect on both sides of the ball. You still got Goff behind center. Goff is not the best quarterback.
But I don't think like Kyle Murray has been bailed out a lot by DeAndre Hopkins and his escapability. He hasn't made great decisions. He's had multiple games with multiple interceptions this season. So
Yeah,
he's not like, yes, he's getting better, but he's still making mistakes as
no,
every young quarterback is doing.
he's making mistakes. But here's the thing.
But
Here's the thing. Jimmy G and Goff do not escape like he does. You have two
right,
quarterbacks in your division that do well with escaping and raise the level of your team's offense.
right.
You have Russell
So then,
Wilson with the Seahawks, and now you have Kyler Murray, who we both talked about a couple weeks ago, that Kyler Murray is like the second coming of Russell Wilson.
so how come Russell Wilson didn't make the Super Bowl last year? How come they couldn't beat us the last game of the season if they have the better quarterback and everything? How
Well,
come?
they don't have a D-Hop.
Okay,
DK Metcalf was a rookie.
But you're saying the Cardinals are coming up on the 49ers and they're so much better and we're staying
Because
How
now because they have a D-Hop. Because they have a D-Hop. That's why. And Richard
Okay.
Sherman, isn't Richard Sherman your best DB?
is our team's best defensive? Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
best DB, yeah.
Yeah.
D-Hop cooks that guy. He eats
When?
him for lunch.
No,
He eats that man for lunch, bro.
I wish
Oh,
Hop
bro.
got a chance to play Sherman this season.
Bro,
I
he
wish they had a chance to play
if he
Sherman.
does,
Bro.
he will, bro.
Bro, if our this year is a huge loss for the 49ers. When our defensive line is back healthy and like we were last year, Kyle Murray is not even going to get a chance to do what he's doing.
Arizona Cardinals,
for-
they could win the Super Bowl. They could win the Super Bowl, bro.
Okay. Yeah, a second year Kyle Murray is going to win. Is going to take the Cardinals to the Super Bowl.
He's really good.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
He's really good. He might even be better than Patrick.
He
Might even be better than Patrick Mahomes.
Bro, this is the second time your football card's getting taken away.
I'm just
You already
saying.
lost your
Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray might be better than Patrick Mahomes. Think about that. Think about that.
Clip this. We're clip this later. We'll save it later.
All
It's
right.
crazy.
Yeah. So we had some firings. I feel like there's an NFC East. No. The Jets. The Jets fired somebody.
I think they're supposed. Well, the team wants them, or everyone wants them to fire someone. But I don't know
The Jets are terrible. Actually, thank the Lord for the Jets, because at least both New York teams suck right now. All right. Division leaders and picks for division winners. So NFC East, it looks like the Cowboys. I think it sucks to say this, but it looks like Andy Dalton is actually the answer that the Cowboys might need at the quarterback position. And it looks like the Cowboys might be on pace to take the division, but the Eagles could slip into the playoffs.
Right.
And then NFC North with the Packers. Are the Bears really the leaders right now?
No, the Packers are there. And
Sorry. You're right.
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah. We'll see what
But
happens.
the Bears are 4-1. The Bears are 4-1.
Yeah, Nick Foles it might be the answer. We'll see what happens.
He is the answer.
Merce, don't stop that. Stop. NFC South of the Bucks. We got Saints and Bucks and Saints. That's interesting. I think Drew Brees is starting to show his age, which is really unfortunate. Because I feel like the Saints are a better team than the Bucks. The Saints are better than the Bucks, but Tom Brady is doing Tom Brady things. But I feel like they're a little suspect, because Tom Brady's just like Drew Brees offensively. He's not able to throw like down the field, like with these wide receivers. It's a lot of like cuts and like cuts across the middle of the field, little dump offs. We'll see when they get Leonard Fournette. We'll see what happens. How long when is he supposed to be back?
Well, he could he's just not getting minutes, right? Or he's not getting PT because I don't think he's fully healthy. But like, it's when he's ready, or when they're ready to play him, because they're back, or they're starting running back right now he's doing the job.
Okay, we'll see what happens there. And then, like I said, with the West, NFC West, Seahawks, Rams, I think we'll be saying in a couple weeks. It'll be Seahawks, Cardinals in a couple weeks. So
the
Rams have been getting lucky.
The Cardinals are 3-2, and the 49ers are 2-3.
And then the Rams are 3-2, aren't they?
No, they're 4-1.
Yeah, don't worry, that'll change soon.
So if you look at the West right now, right? So you have the Eagles. So there's only one team from the East is going to make the playoffs. There's no way that two teams from the East make the playoffs. So you have one the East. Then you could say two from the North, right?
Okay.
And then you had either one or two from the NFC South,
Mm-hmm.
right? Let's just say one, so that's four. You could have three teams coming from one division. So
Do
whether
you
that's
think the
from
Saints will have a worse record than the Rams?
if they do have a worse record than the Rams, is be like by one game, by
Okay.
one game.
Okay. Okay. I'll let you
I
take.
think I think their records are going to be very similar.
Okay. I'll let you do the AFC East, the AFC, because I haven't been watching much of their division lately, except for Mahomes.
Okay, so the AFC, so then the Bills, Josh Allen's looking like an MVP candidate after Russell Wilson.
Oh
Like
my
after
gosh.
Russell Wilson for MVP, I take Josh Allen.
What about Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, I think those like I think it's more impressive what Josh Allen's doing both in the air and on the floor, on the ground. So I would have him number 2 right now, Josh Allen. And then Cam Newton missed that game because of COVID, and they lost against
The Chiefs.
the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And the Patriots stuck in that game until like that fourth quarter where I think they threw back-to-back picks, and that was just like
I like I said, I think Cam Newton on the Patriots, that it was a Thursday night game, right? Or was it Sunday? But
I don't remember.
I think the Chiefs would have lost possibly to Cam Newton sitting there in for the quarterback as the Patriots. I think the Patriots are sneakily probably the best team in the AFC, but we're not recognizing them yet because we still haven't seen them beat like a top team. But we don't want to forget about the Ravens. So
Yeah. And so then we have the North with the Steelers. They're leading the division. Ben Roethlisberger came back, and he's Ben Roethlisberger.
bro,
then,
that's not real.
bro,
Steelers fans,
been
it's not real. I'm gonna be right now. It's not real.
Well, the Steelers have the best defense in football, and it's scary. Like Minka Fitzpatrick's been doing his thing. TJ Watt,
yeah.
their defensive line, like Joe Hayden, like they've been balling.
Which is weird, man. Last year they looked horrible on defense. What happened?
Last year they were a top 5 defense. Last year they were right there with the Niners as best defenses. And then right behind them, the Ravens, their defense gave up only 3 points to the Bengals, and then the Browns are finally looking how they're supposed to. They're 4-1.
When do the Browns and Steelers play?
Soon, because they haven't played yet. So
I want to see that game because Myles Garrett has been going on a tear. I want to see him get some hits.
Yeah, it's funny because Ben Roethlisberger is a big old quarterback, so it's yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
but yeah, go ahead.
And then we could go to the AFC South, and I think the most disappointing team in this division has been, of course, the Texans, who are 1-4.
Yeah,
and the Jaguars are tied with them, I think, or have one more win. I don't know, but the Titans are undefeated so far. The Colts, I think, are like 3-2 or something. So,
man, why haven't people talked about the Titans more? Derrick Henry.
You didn't say they were going to win the division. I said the Titans were going to win the division. You're like, nah.
Who did I say was going to win this division?
Colts. You said the Colts were going to win the division.
Oh well, Can I stop? I'm gonna go with Titans. I'm gonna go with Titans, please.
Nah.
No, because I don't believe in Phillip Rivers. I don't believe in Phillip Rivers, honestly.
But you said you did.
No, I don't. That dude's trash.
Bro,
that dude's trash.
That was our first episode. I think you said that. You said the Colts are gonna win.
I know. I go back on that one. I'll be honest. old man. No, because I forgot about Phillip Rivers. Because I believe in the other guy.
Brissett.
Yeah, Jacoby Brissett. The Colts were amazing, but this whole Phillip Rivers thing, no. I Titans, please, Titans.
And then the AFC West to the Chiefs and the Raiders, and the Raiders just beat the Chiefs.
The Raiders that was a great game. They look good. They look really good. I think the thing is that there's a couple teams that look like they might be a little suspect. And as much as I like Mahomes and Andy Reid, the Chiefs, like you did tell me this, the Chiefs on defense, they got thrown, like they were just throwing bombs.
Because they have the only decent defensive back they have is Tyrann Mathieu, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like that, there's no corners. Like the only reason why they they stay in games is because their offense, and sometimes Chris Jones gets a stop. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Like
So what? See, the thing is that the Chiefs have to find a way to extend their drives,
right,
or keep scoring, and they've been getting shut out in the first half a lot
exactly.
this season, which is actually
Hmm.
very terrifying. Even though they have Eclair, I
Hmm.
forget his full name, but
Yeah,
they have Eclair in the backfield. They're not Their offensive line is not doing enough to really open up holes for him to really sustain drives, right? Outside of, Mahomes running it for a first down or for a touchdown. So I think
yeah,
that's a big problem for them. Another team that looks suspect to me, like I said before, are the Bucks, right? I think Tom Brady has been getting away with wins against really, like, to be honest, bad teams. So you can beat up on the Atlanta Falcons, you can beat up on the Chargers, okay, but outside of that, like, he has been throwing consistent pick sixes. So I do think their defense is keeping them in games. We'll see what happens when Leonard Fournette comes back, but I actually think the offense, because Tom Brady is showing his age, Drew Brees is showing his age, those two teams are looking kind of suspect to me. And like I said before, the Rams, and I'm sorry, but even your 49ers, even healthy, are looking suspect, because what I'm trying to tell you is Jimmy Garoppolo and Jared Goff are not better quarterbacks than Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray
and
is
they
coming.
don't have to be better. They don't have to be better than them.
All
Our
right.
team is better.
All right. But I'm just
And
saying, your
there is
quarterback
no
is your
reason
most
to
important.
there is no doubt. There is no reason to doubt a healthy 49ers team, because last time the 49ers were healthy, we went to the Super Bowl. If we're
It
healthy,
doesn't
we're
it
not.
doesn't happen all the same way. You guys had some close wins last season. What if those wins don't go your way?
And then the three losses that we had were by a touchdown.
That's what
So
I'm saying. They were close. They could
we
have
could
gone
have been
either way.
16-0. We could
No,
have been 16-0.
they could have gone either way though. That's what I'm trying to say. You don't know. You can't say,
No,
"Oh, this is not the NBA. My team's healthy. We're gonna get back to it." Even if your
yes,
team's
it is
healthy,
because
another team
no,
gets better.
no, that's not. If we're healthy, this is not happening. It's obvious. Jimmy Garoppolo got injured, and every time we've had an injured Jimmy Garoppolo, or Jimmy Garoppolo not start, we lose. Every time Kittle doesn't misses games, we lose. When our star players are healthy and clicking, we don't lose. Jimmy Garoppolo is like 20-5 as a starter. He's lost 5 times in the 25 games he's played. Like, he's a winner. Jimmy Garoppolo is a winner.
He's not a winner because he don't have no rings. So no, 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 no,
Jimmy,
no. He's not. He
he
has
has a
no
ring.
rings.
Jimmy
He is
Garoppolo
not a
has a
winner.
ring.
You can't say that. He's
Jimmy
not a
Garoppolo,
winner.
Jimmy Garoppolo is a Super Bowl champion.
Oh, stop. Bro,
He was
he was the backup. He didn't play any minutes.
It doesn't matter.
He
He
played in
won a
one of the
championship.
worst offensive Super Bowls we've ever seen in our lives. It's like what? It was like 10-7 or 10-3 or whatever. It was a terrible Super Bowl.
It's not even a question. The 49ers healthy. There's no stopping them. Just like last year.
There's no stopping them.
No.
Patrick Mahomes will stop you. The
No, he didn't stop
Patriots.
us. He got bailed out.
Oh, he got bailed out. How did he get bailed out? How did he get bailed out?
Bro, he threw a pick. When we take advantage, we've been through the game the whole.
No, I want to hear
time.
this. Put this on the tape. How did Patrick Mahomes get bailed out? Put this on the tape. I want to hear this.
The refs. I don't know how much money. I think. Oh, this is why Patrick Mahomes got paid $50 million a year, because he has to pay half of it to the refs.
Oh my gosh. That is the worst argument I've ever heard.
No.
That is hate dripping out of your
refs.
mouth. That's hate
refs.
dripping out of your mouth. Bro,
It's true.
let it
We
go.
robbed points in the first half. Then they gave Patrick Mahomes every single offensive pass interference or defensive pass interference call, every holding call. The first half of the game was so clean. It was like 13-10 or whatever the score was. It was a close game. And then as soon as we got ahead by 10 points, then there's a penalty on the penalty. It was ridiculous.
Oh, penalty, oh, penalty, oh, penalty. Oh my gosh. Okay, here's the thing though. It's about personnel. Patrick Mahomes is a far better quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo. That's one. You don't have anyone on your roster receiver-wise, excluding the tight end, so let's get to that later. Tyreek Hill is the best wide receiver on that field in that Super Bowl. And then Kittle versus, what's his name? Kelsey. Travis Kelsey, by the stats, by Pro Football Focus, Kelsey is a better tight end than George Kittle. He's a better tight end than George Kittle.
How much?
Yes.
No, he's not.
He is. He is.
George Kittle was the second highest.
Then what happened? What happened in the Pro Bowl? What happened in the Pro Bowl? Who was 1 and who was 2? Kelsey was 1. Yeah, for nominations, right? Obviously they couldn't play because they're in the Super Bowl. But Kelsey was number one. Kittle was number two.
When that has nothing to do with stats,
Kelsey.
that has,
I'm just saying,
wait,
Kelsey's
that
number
has to
one.
do with that
Kelsey's a
has to
better
do with
tight end.
people voting.
Kelsey's a better
No,
tight
he's
end.
not.
Yes, he
No,
is.
he's not.
They had
Pro
the better
Football Focus
offense.
will tell you that he's a better tight end.
Here's the thing.
And the NFL 100 will tell you he's a better tight end. The stats tell you he's a better tight end. He has the most receiving yards in a season by a tight end ever.
Nope.
Ever.
Not facts.
Yes, he does.
Nope.
He does.
No, Kelsey is the best tight end in the NFL.
Nope.
And he's proving it again this year. He's proving it again this year. The only guy who's really coming after Kittle and is that one tight end in the Raiders. He's really good too, though.
Yeah, but Kittle is it's not even a question anymore.
It's not. No, it is definitely a question.
There's not even debate.
No, there is a debate. Kelsey is number one. Kelsey's number one.
Nope.
All right. Well,
George Kittle is a better run. The only reason
Kelsey has a ring. Kelsey has a ring.
It doesn't matter. George Kittle's still better than him.
No, he's not.
George Kittle's
he
still
really
better
isn't. He actually really isn't. He didn't make the plays that they needed him to make.
Yeah, he did.
No, he
did.
didn't. If he did, then they would have won. They would have won if he had did.
They called a dumb offensive pass interference call on George Kittle at the end that would have put them in the second half more points.
All I know is Kelsey's catching touchdowns. Kittle's not doing anything right now.
George Kittle holds the record for most receiving yards by tight end in history. No tight end has more receiving yards in one season than George Kittle. George Kittle is a better run blocker than Travis Kelce. He's by far the better tight end. It's not even close. Not even close.
I'm disagree with you on that one.
And Travis Kelce has a Patrick Mahomes to get thrown from. George Kittle got most receiving yards by tight end without Jimmy Garoppolo. He got it with C.J. Beathard and Nick Mullins as his quarterback. That just proves to the testament how great a tight end George Kittle is.
I'm going to disagree with you. Best tight end.
Search it up. Pro Football Focus has George Kittle the second greatest player in all last year. Second. Yeah, behind like Aaron Donald or some defensive player. It's not even Travis Kelce.
All right. Well, moving on. Let's talk. Our final topic is going to be NFC East. We already talked about Dak Prescott, but my hot take is Dak Prescott, he cried. And he's been through so much. He lost his mother to cancer a couple years back, years ago. He lost his brother to suicide this year, actually, which is very sad. But Dak Prescott, I think he was crying, not because of the pain, because he knew he just lost his job. The reason why he had a job, and it's very ironic that it was Tony Romo who was the one calling the game, because he took Tony Romo's job because Tony Romo got injured and never gave it up. Dak Prescott, and part of this league is availability. And unfortunately, Dak Prescott just lost all his availability, has no contract. He was put on the, what's it called? Not the,
Fire?
no, not Fire. Like franchise. He was franchise tagged. So he has no contract with the team. So he's essentially, in my opinion, he will probably, if Andy Dalton does as well as I think he could, I think Jerry Jones looks at this as an opportunity to get away from Dak Prescott, to either use picks to buffer the team defensively or to get another QB to prep them for the next spot. I think this is the end of Dak Prescott as the Dallas Cowboys starting QB, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, or Dak Prescott goes down to 20 to 25 million per year, because now he has no argument really to fight for a bigger contract.
I think after this injury, like the Cowboys, like they owe. I feel like the Cowboys and the Cowboys franchise, they owe Dak Prescott another. They already owe him a chance after the injury to at least look at him and consider him. And I don't think anyone in the right mind is going to give Dak Prescott the $40 million he was going to get after this, especially after this injury. So, I think if I want to be fair, if I'm like Jerry Jones and I want to be fair, I'm going to sign him for like 20, like say even $20 million for 2 years, and have him reprove himself again. And then if he is back to what he was, then they should have no problem with paying him that money.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, but Jerry Jones was very bullish about this. Again,
well, he was smart. He was smart,
bro. And that's I hate that. I hate that so much, bro. I hate that so much.
but it was it was they had a choice to franchise tag him, and make Dak Prescott prove to him that they're actually worth that 40 mil.
He was
And
worth
they
it
did that.
already. He had
Yeah.
proven it by winning playoff games. It's just sad. It's a travesty. It's greedy owners in the NFL not looking out for the players' best interests, not looking out for the team's best interests, and it's just unfortunate. They're looking out for their
we don't know
wallet's
how.
best interests.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the end of the story could be the Cowboys give him a contract, because do you know the story with Ryan Shazier, how like he got his spine, like it was something with his spine, and like he like the Steelers still kept him on payroll, and they paid him as he was playing as a regular player.
Mm-hmm.
So the Cowboys still have that option to make things right, and I wouldn't pay, even if it was out of sympathy. I'm not going to pay him like 40 mil or even 30 mil anymore, because he's not going to do that. But I think they're gonna do their best to help him in any way.
All right, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Joe Judge, NFC East again, just focusing on this. You have lost Saquon for the year. Daniel Jones is playing like Daniel Jones, which is not good. Joe Judge is a new head coach. He brought in Jason Garrett. I actually don't even know who the defensive coordinator is at this moment right now, but the defense is actually pretty good. Joe Judge was a special teams coach of the Patriots. He has not inspired any confidence in me. This is a game that they should have won, and they didn't. I think Joe Judge should be fired. It was crazy that the Maras hired this man. Gettleman should be fired after the season. Blow everything up. And just keep Saquon. Because Daniel Jones, picked at the 6th overall pick, is ridiculous. Joe Judge is not a good enough coach. He's his first time as a head coach. First time head coach. And you're throwing him into a situation without a veteran quarterback under center. This is ridiculous. This is not what I want to see.
I'm excited in your misery.
Yeah, I was poking fun at 49ers, so feel free to poke fun at me. The Giants are trash. Complete trash. As a Giants fan, I've been a Giants fan since Tiki Barber was there. I am sick of seeing the losing. I'm sick of it. We haven't won a playoff game in, I think, about almost 10 years. This is getting ridiculous. We lost OBJ. 13, baby. I'm always going to remember you, OBJ. We lost Odell because we thought we could be better without him. And we haven't sniffed the playoffs since he's been gone. Eli Manning has gone, and he's not coming back. Tom Coughlin is gone, and he's not coming back. Fire Joe Judge. Fire Gettleman Maras. Let's get a real head coach, a real GM to help us get out of the situation. And let's get a real quarterback. We could have had Andy Dalton, and he would have been better than Daniel Jones.
I think the real reason that like the Giants are in this rut is because like they kept Eli too long. Like
I agree.
And so those seasons where like you could have been tanking and gathering young prospects, right? You were getting 7-9 records. You're getting 8-8 records. You're getting middle of the draft picks.
We actually been in the playoffs one year with Eli and Odell Beckham Jr. Right. We had a playoff game against the Packers.
If like Eli and the Giants, I think Eli and the Giants should have realized sooner that like it was time to
rebuild. Yeah.
And I think they hit the rebuild a year or two too late.
But so okay. Sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Let you finish.
And it's going to take a little while. So I think like 2 years before Saquon was there is when the rebuild should have really started to gather young picks and everything. And I think it's happening a little late, so it's going to take a little longer.
Yeah, but another thing that's really messing with me is that the O-line is so terrible. Daniel Jones doesn't get enough time to really get comfortable in the pocket. But it's crazy because we knew this. Gettleman said when he got brought in, we're gonna draft and sign hog mollies. We're gonna get an O-line that's gonna protect our quarterback. And this season is the worst I've seen the O-line in a number of years. This is ridiculous. Daniel Jones is getting harassed all the time. He's trying to work on his ball control. But how is he going to win games and get to Darius Slayton? Darius Slayton's a very good prospect, very good wide receiver. We have Evan Ingram still. It's just ridiculous. I think David Gettleman has not been great at all for the Giants and needs to be fired right now. And Joe Judge is just too inexperienced. He's just too inexperienced. We needed, as much as people could hate on Mike McCarthy, at least he's a veteran.
Right.
And he's a winner. He's a winner. So it's pretty crazy. I mean, even going back a couple years for Giants fans, the quarterback coach for Aaron Rodgers that we hired over for the Giants as our head coach, I know that it was controversial with him, but maybe we should have brought him back. We should have done something different. That's it. That's all. That's my simple little rant. I will probably have more next week because the Giants most likely will lose again. So yeah, it's crazy. All right, go ahead.
I think you're not giving. I think like who like I think one year and five starts is not enough for a rookie quarterback to be proven off of. Like Daniel Jones is going to need time to prove himself to get NFL, like just like the same thing that happened with Drew Brees, the same thing that happened with Eli Manning. It took him 3-4 seasons to be a good available starting quarterback, and I think Daniel Jones is going to be a good starting quarterback once given enough time.
But see,
given an offensive line,
the problem is the timing by Gettleman is that we have a stud in Saquon Barkley who's literally wasting his life playing as a Giant.
He's played 2 seasons.
He's wasting his life playing as a Giant. Running backs have very short lives in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Right? This is my legit concern. If we didn't have Saquon,
when have running backs won you a Super Bowl?
Cowboys, Broncos.
But when? How long ago was that?
I'm just saying that has happened. Like you're acting as if running backs don't help you.
In this modern era of football, running backs are not the most important part to your team.
Well, I mean, tell that to your team because that's what you guys kept boasting about. We have the best running game. We're gonna run the ball down their throats.
We have the best running scheme, and it worked. We didn't have a top 10 running back. You could say we didn't even have a top 15.
But it's still running backs. You're still running the ball. Running the ball is still a good thing.
Because we had a great offensive line.
But that's not the point, though. The point is what I'm saying is that Saquon, if he was like Wayne Gallman, any of these other guys like Peyton Barber, like any of these other like low tier running backs, then I hear you, right? I wouldn't be worried. But Saquon is literally wasting his life, and I don't want him to have a Todd Gurley kind of thing going on with him, where he's just I get injured, now I'm getting relegated, and then my career's done. It's very sad to watch, right? Like, and I think that's why it was a terrible thing for them to waste that pick on Daniel Jones if you're not doing a real rebuild and you don't have a real offensive line. It was a really bad choice.
I think the Giants did the best they did with the pieces they had. Daniel Jones in 2 years could be a decent starting quarterback. You still have Saquon, Evan Ingram, you have Sterling Shepard, or whatever his name is. You have
Sterling Shepard
and Darius Slayton, and the defense is young and getting better.
Yeah, defense is looking really good this year.
Like in 2 or 3 years, if you're a Giants fan, you have a lot of hope for the future, and I think it's just going to take time.
Nope. I'm sorry, I do not have that hope.
Okay, you're the Giants fan. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, no, thank you. All right, that's it.
It was sarcastic because it's just a matter of time. You can't expect from go to 0 to hero with a rookie quarterback.
Patrick Mahomes did it.
He wasn't a rookie quarterback.
He was technically a rookie. He hadn't finished a full.
He was not technically.
He hadn't finished a full year of but he hadn't finished a full year of starts. Just like you say about Daniel Jones, when he made it to the AFC Championship, he was finishing his first full year of starting.
Yeah, but he wasn't technically a rookie. He had gone under
He sat for 1 year.
Right.
And he played 1 or 2 games at the end of the season.
No, because Alex Smith got hurt. He played the rest of that season.
That's how they got the AFC though. That's the year they went to the AFC Championship.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. He was still as far as starts are concerned, he was still a rookie.
I know, but he didn't win.
And even then, Dak Prescott, rookie, went to the playoffs.
Yeah, but look at the team that the Giants have, and look at the team that Patrick Mahomes had.
I'm giving you other teams though. No, but we just criticized that the Chiefs don't have a really great defense. They did have Kareem Hunt. That's pretty much it, right? They did have Tyreek Hill. They had Travis Kelce.
A great offensive line.
No, they didn't have a great. It wasn't a great offensive line. That's why.
It wasn't great.
That's why Mahomes has to run so much. If a quarterback has to
wasn't
run so much, it's not that great of an offensive line.
This year, their offensive line.
Look, I just also said, Cowboys. Dak Prescott, same thing.
That had a great offensive
The
line.
Eagles.
Great
The Eagles.
running back,
The Eagles
great
made the
friends.
playoffs. The Eagles made the playoffs. Or I don't know. If they made it with the rookie. They not rookie season. They didn't make the playoffs. Not his rookie
Yeah,
season.
but they also have a great offensive line. Like all these teams had great offensive lines.
But that's why I'm mad. Gettleman said when he came in, we will build up the offensive line. He's going on his third year as a GM, and the offensive line looks the worst that it has been under. That's why I have no hope. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Be mad at the personnel manager or whatever. Don't be mad at Daniel Jones.
I'm still mad at Daniel Jones because he's still throwing their picks to the defensive lineman, literally throwing the ball to the defensive lineman
while he's getting hit in the face and getting.
He wasn't getting hit. He was just throw it. Defensive lineman jumps up and runs away. That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching Get This Work Sports Podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see anything more that you want us to talk about, let us know in the comments below. Subscribe and hit that like button. And always remember to get this work. All right. And have a great, wonderful day.